Hello, this will be the tutorial for the second part of Lesson 7, Build a Star Wars Game. We have completed puzzles 1 through 6. Let's go ahead and begin by clicking on number 7. The directions say, it's up to you, R2D2. When you get a tauntaun, and a tauntaun is this thing, make 2 or more Minox appear. Get 8 Minox. Your job is to capture 8 of these guys, and you can make it so that by every time you click one of these guys, some of those Minox will appear. If I click the game the way that it is right now, you'll notice that every time he touches one of those tauntauns, one of those bird things does not appear. So we need to create that. Right here where it says when get tauntaun, I need to add a Minoc. So every time I touch one of the tauntauns, one of these things should show up. Let's see if that works. Okay, the bird is definitely there. I've got 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. But that's not enough. In order to pass this level, I need to get 8 of them. So how can I possibly make it so that 8 of those things show up? Well, we're going to cheat a little bit by adding a second Minoc. So this time, every time I get one of the tauntauns, 2 Minocs will show up. Let's try this again. Okay, it's a little bit better. You can see that there's more of those birds floating around, and all I have to do now is just capture the last one. That is a total of 8 of them, and therefore that will allow you to pass the level. Here is puzzle number 8. The directions say they're multiplying. Can you make 2 or more mouse droids, and a mouse droid looks like this, appear every time R2D2 gets 1 mouse droid? Get 20 mouse droids. So this is similar to the puzzle that we just solved, except you'll notice that if I just run the program right now, there is one of those little mouse things. And if I get it, nothing happens. So you have to create an event like when I get a mouse droid, that every time you get one, more mouse droids should show up. Let's see if that works. Click run, get the mouse, and as soon as you do that, another mouse droid shows up every time you get one. You'll notice, however, this is going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat again a little bit like I did in puzzle number 7. How about every time I get a mouse droid, not just one more mouse droid shows up, but how about a second one also shows up? Every time I get one, 2 more will show up. There it is. Should definitely make my job easier because you are supposed to get 20 of them in order to pass this level. You can tell that you can probably have some fun with this, because what it did that happen just by me making 2 mouse droids show up every time I got one of them. But what if you made it so that 10 more showed up every time you got one? The screen would fill up very quickly. Anyway, here is puzzle number 9. The directions say time to visit another planet. Use the new commands to change your droid and its speed. So we have to do 2 different things. Here's the word and that's a very, very magical word because it means that there's 2 different things: changing the droid and changing its speed, and then get the rebel pilots. So let's do that. First and foremost, it says set the droid to C3PO. Now C3PO, of course, is him. So you can change it between C3PO and R2D2, or a random or a hidden. I'm just going to leave it as C3PO. But it also asks us to set his speed. So this one says set droid to a fast speed. Let me go ahead and add that here. And you can change that speed to random, slow, normal, or fast. I'm going to leave it at fast. So now that I've done both of the things that it says here, change your droid and its speed. Now that I've done both of them, now the last thing is to get the rebel pilots. So let's go ahead and begin. It looks like I have to get out of the... Okay, there's one. And this is why I left it as a fast speed, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Go ahead and click continue. Now, this video is for the last puzzle here. Please watch this when it is your turn. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and click X and continue. I'm also going to X out of here. It says you're on your own now, R2D2. You have all the tools that you need to create your own puzzle. Feel free to explore and play with all the different commands and events. When you're done, press the finish button to continue. If you click command, you get all of this. They've added quite a bit. If you click events, which are with these, again, these would be the buttons on a controller. Now you do have some here already. One up arrow, one down arrow, one left arrow, one right arrow. But you can have an awful lot of fun with this. For example, what if I'm looking for the ones that add, here we go, add stormtrooper. What if I add a stormtrooper every time I click the up arrow? What if I set the background, change the background to random every time I click the down arrow? What if I add a puffer pig every time I click the left arrow? And what if I add points every time I click, let's see, 1,000 points every time I click the right arrow? So of course the arrows are all these, but I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard. So here we go. And all I'm doing is clicking my up and down and right and left arrows, and everything that happened is happening because that's what I set for my green event blocks here. You'll notice that every time I click the up arrow, stormtroopers would show up. If I click the down arrow, the picture in the back would change. If I click the left arrow, a puffer pig would show up, and if I click the right arrow, I would add 1,000 points, which is why I'm up to 60,000 up here now. Now, this is an open puzzle, which means you can change the rules as much as you like to whatever you want. Please have fun with this. And when you are done, click finish. Here, when you click done, this will take you to the page that has a certificate. You do not have to do anything on it. It simply means that you are done with this unit.